Sorry, unmute myself real quick. Twitch was a total bust. This is way too bright. Oh my god. Get this light over. I don't even need it. Alright, I'll move it over. Let's do it. Good. Good lighting. He back. I am back. Yeah. I had to take a small break, and I was like, oh, I'll switch over to Twitch. And then Twitch was a piece of shit. So that's not going to work. Man, I need a haircut. So we're back. And I'm going to teach y'all how to repair these things. So. Let's get a simple one. Let's get fire attack out here. So here's fire attack. It's a widescreen. And what you're gonna need is one of these. This camera over a little. Maybe not that much. Right about there. Yeah, we're gonna need is one of these. This will be interesting. And Game & Watches are most of them are super easy to take apart. What's up, Tactical Panda? Yeah, I came back. Most of these are super easy to take apart and repair. Okay. So, get this stand out of the way. I'll get the batteries too. Make sure this is how I store my batteries. I keep them on the back end of a piece of duct tape. That way you can do them sort of Dippin' Dot style. You do not want to just throw these in a pile because they'll discharge on each other. And you'll get a lot of battery corrosion, and they won't last very long. You get a lot of dead batteries, and these things aren't cheap. So put them in these little, like, button arrangements, so they're not in contact with each other. And you can. This is assuming you don't want your Game & Watch to be on, which I don't, since they're display pieces for the most part for me. And when I want to play them, I just put the batteries in. So, to take one of these apart, first, take the battery cover off, obviously. And you'll see there's 6 screws on a widescreen. The early silver screens just have 2 screws, and the gold series have 3 screws. But they all come apart the same way. So you just take your screwdriver, a small flathead screwdriver, and let me just bend that down a little bit so you all can see a little bit better. Sorry, this is not a very cooperative tripod. That's a little bit better. Yeah, so you just take your screwdriver. How did you manage to get so many Game & Watches? I purchased them with money. I bought them over the past 4 years or so. I think only on eBay. I think that's where I got all of them. I can't think of one where I found one. You don't really find these in the wild anymore. Although there have been some pretty good deals going on lately. 2 viewers. Alright, and then once all the screws are out, in fact, I'll just pop them out like this. Make sure you get all of them. And these backplate screws are a different length than the other screws that hold together. So make sure you keep them off to the side in their own little section. In fact, if I take the Amiibo out of Game & Watch, you can sort of put them into his Amiibo stand if you want. Sort of stick them in that hole. Like that. It's actually pretty decent. So,
In 2011, I joined
I
the
don't
Dell
like
Women's Entrepreneur Network. Join has
having
given me knowledge,
ads.
capital, and a network.
I don't want to put ad blocker on. That's against my morals. Okay. So once all the backplate screws are out, be very careful with this. You can see here it hooks. The backplate hooks onto the battery cover. So you just pull it out, and there you go. This is your speaker. Make sure you don't pull too hard on this, or the soldering is going to come undone, and you're not going to have sound anymore. Be very careful with this, all right? And you can see, oh, this is so cool. You get to see all the. Sometimes the chips have little markings on them of what Game & Watch they are, but anyway, I took the liberty. There's 4 screws here that are holding the motherboard on. Alright? I took the liberty of marking, because there's so many holes in this thing, marking which ones hold them in with a pen. Do that. It'll make putting it together a lot easier. So, you just unscrew them the exact same way with the exact same screwdriver. The only difference is these ones are a little bit shorter. They're shorter screws. Okay. Alright, and once those are out, I'm going to keep them out of the way of the backplate screws. And then this is the fun part. Ever so gently pop the motherboard off of the front plate. So this is where the juice is. This is where the good stuff is, right? Okay. Keep that off to the side for a bit. And here, you can see what makes up the screen of a Game & Watch. There's you get the buttons here. Sorry, you get the buttons here. Pop those up. There you go. And if you want to clean the contacts with, if you want to restore them, sometimes these things get old. They get dirty. You know, they're old handhelds. So you want to just take a Q-tip, get some rubbing alcohol, and rub them and clean the buttons. They'll get grimy pretty easily. Okay, you just pop that back on there. And these are the important bits. This is the scene overlay. One of them at least. Some Game & Watches just have the one. Fire attack, like this one. Bro, I got Donkey Kong Jr. Nice! Which one? The widescreen, the mini classic, or the tabletop? You can make sure to clean these with soap and water. They get grimy too. This is the polarizer screen. Okay? Without this, the Game & Watch will not work. The characters will not light up. They will not show up. The funny thing is, if you put it on backwards, if you flip it around, the whole screen will be black and the characters will show up white. That's when you know you have it on backwards. So, if the characters are extremely faded, they're not showing up very well, it probably needs a new polarizer screen. You can get one of these for about $6 on eBay, and they'll look kind of like this. Even though this isn't the polarizer screen, they'll look kind of like this in a square. It may not be the same shape as the OEM one, but it doesn't matter. You can literally you can take 3D glasses from a movie theater and put it on here. It doesn't matter. And cut it down to size. It doesn't matter. And then you just make sure you remember what order these things go in. Sometimes the polarizer screen goes in front of the overlay, sometimes it goes behind, like in Fire Attack. Okay. And that'll fix that problem. Now, if the screen is extremely dirty, what you do is you slide these out, right? And you can see there's the chip. And it says ID 29 Nintendo. Yeah, that's the crazy microchip in here. The teal green one. Oh, that's the widescreen one. And you can see kind of it already is a little bit. See this like dirty spot here? That will make things a bit more difficult to see and really ruin your gaming experience. If you want a nice, clear, perfect screen, these things get moisture underneath them. That's what it is. These things get moisture underneath them. Which is actually, you know, this is handy. I get to actually show you what it's like when you repair one of these things. Here is a replacement polarizer screen. You can see it's much clearer. It doesn't have that black spot in there. And that's just what happens over time. These things collect moisture and they get mildewy. But they're easy to replace. These are called reflector screens. They're also available on eBay for about $3 plus shipping. And unlike most Game & Watches, Fire Attack actually has two overlays, two scenery overlays. One on the in the background and one in the foreground. So this one goes in here, and you can see this. The LCD will actually light up this screen. It's really cool. You can actually see all the characters if you pull it at the right angle. You can't really see it, but yeah. So you got this dirty original reflector screen. You got the new replacement one. Just peel that off. I know it's not the same shape, but it doesn't really matter. Alright? Nice and good. And you just slide that behind the glass. Actually, you know what? Put the overlay screen on it first. Like so. You can see, I can actually show you. Look how much clearer that is. So you have the old OEM dirty one, which I've never replaced, from 1982 or whatever. It's a little bit dark, it's a little bit murky. It's not fun. Characters don't show up that well. Do that. New reflector screen, much brighter, easier to see. So, slide that in there. Be careful, you don't touch anything you're not supposed to. Okay? And then, get your faceplate back. And you just plop it right back on. Everything, they should sit on these little pegs. See these little pegs right here? Right here. Peg here. Peg here. And once you got that, you take your 4 tiny screws. And I took the liberty of marking which holes the backplate screws went in and which ones were the motherboard screws. Which is a good idea. Make sure you remember what order everything went in. I've had to take these apart and put them back together so many times because I accidentally placed the overlay too far forward, or I put the polarizer screen on backwards and everything was black and white. It's very weird. But once you have it, once you know how these things are taken apart, you can take one apart, clean it, put it back together, and fix it in about 10 minutes. It's very simple. At least for these kind of units, these gold, silver, and widescreen units. These simple ones. I've taken, and basically when you do dual screen ones, it's basically just 2 of these on top of each other. So they get taken apart the same way. You just have to know which screen you're dealing with, which buttons you're dealing with, stuff like that. So you can take them apart the same way, it's just you have to take them apart twice, basically. And then once those screws are on, just very gently, very gently, hook it back on, put it on like that, right? And you just sort of hook it into place. And then I use the Amiibo stand as a holder. You take your 6 backplate screws, and don't screw these on too tight, but you want them to be snug enough. But you don't want to squeeze them on too tight that things start to bend, you know what I mean? So once it starts putting up resistance, you can pretty much stop there. and you'll see it's going to look a lot brighter and a lot better. But yeah, model number DJ101. Nice, dude. My Donkey Kong Jr. is model number CJ71. Tabletop. Alright, once that's on and tight and good, this will save you a ton of money. You can bargain with people selling Game & Watches that have dirty screens or their polarizers are bad. Getting a mint condition Game & Watch is very expensive. We're talking hundreds of dollars. $100 to $200 depending on the unit, loose, to get a mint condition loose one. Probably about $150 for a more common loose mint condition Game & Watch without the box or anything. So it's much cheaper to spend, I don't know, less than $100 and spend about $10 in polarizer screens and reflector screens. Take it apart, clean it. The buttons don't work. Oh no. Clean the contacts and suddenly they work a lot better. You know what I mean? And all that costs you is a Q-tip and some alcohol. So that's what I've been doing. Same with replacement battery covers. I do prefer to have the original battery cover, obviously. But I do have some units that have replacement battery covers. For instance, this is a perfect, this is almost perfect condition Super Mario Bros. Widescreen. But it doesn't have a battery cover. $3. Now it has a battery cover. It doesn't match perfectly, but it gets the job done. What are you gonna do? Sometimes you'll be lucky and you can buy like a parts Game & Watch that, and you can buy basically, I got mine for free, nice. You can buy like ones with screen bleeding. And unfortunately, see how everything's black? I put the polarizer screen in upside down. Watch what happens when I turn it on. Everything is black, and the characters will show up white. It's very weird. But I'll show you. Put some batteries in it. You can sort of see it. Yeah, not really. But everything that should be black is white and vice versa. So I gotta take it back apart. Mine still has the original cover for the battery. Yeah, most of mine do too. Bear with me, guys. I'm gonna take this one apart very quickly. I put in the polarizer screen upside down. That's a big fat F. And most of the Game & Watch units you'll see will still have the original battery cover. It's just sometimes they don't, and they're a little bit cheaper. Keep in mind it'll cost you about $6 after shipping to get a replacement battery cover. Okay. And get out of there, bastard. I just want to take the plate off the back without anything messing up. There it is. Okay. This one. This is the troublemaker. There it is. Alright, so now I'm just going to keep the screws in and do this turbo style. Sorry, guys. Don't mean to bore you. If y'all have any questions about these Game & Watch systems, let me know. I have the any question I don't have knowledge of offhand, I will consult the unofficial Game & Watch collector's guide. Anything like release dates, how many units were sold, what the original price of these were. I believe the original price, adjusted for inflation, would cost about $100 for each of these things. which isn't terrible when you consider what handheld gaming was in the early 80s, and the fact that they are all digital watches with working alarm clocks. Okay. Easy peasy. As you can see, all I gotta do is flip the polarizer screen around. And if you want, you can dry fit it. Sort of make sure everything is pegged up. Oh, yeah. There. Over there, and then you can sort of do this. Ah, yes. Much better. Much better. It's still a little bit dark, but that's mostly the lighting. But I'll put them back together and I'll show you. This should work. And that's the only thing I don't like about the replacement reflector screens, is that they're a little bit darker. But they're still much clearer. They're better than having this. Yeah. But I'll keep this one just in case. It was the one that Nintendo had their hands on in 1982. So, or I think this one's actually 81. So, not bad. It might be 82, I believe, actually. I believe all the 1981 white screens were gold. I didn't get these colored ones until 1982. Total Bridge and Donkey Kong Jr. Sorry, not Donkey Kong Jr. Yeah, I believe these were the only colored ones. Maybe there was a Snoopy one or something like that. Maybe I should just turn this into an ASMR stream. As you guys get to see me working on vintage Game & Watch systems. What do y'all think of that? I'm about to just make this ASMR. Fuck it. Right? Okay. There we go. Put it all back on. Get on there, you little bitch. There it is. Can't be too rough with these things. They are 40-year-old plastic. It is almost twice my age. Gotta be very careful. It's pretty crazy to think that the Magnavox Odyssey, first home gaming system, is almost 50 years old. Oh my god. Okay, we're almost there. I'm screwing it on. Okay. Ah, much better. Yeah. Okay. So, where are my batteries at? Here they are. Put on the battery cover. And you can see everything much clearer now. It doesn't work perfectly. I believe FireTech is just a little bit blurrier than the rest of the units, but you get the idea. And I did the same thing. That reflector screen trick and polarizer screen trick I have done to several of my Game & Watches. Because getting a perfect condition Game & Watch is a bitch. So I did one for my oil panic unit. Right here. It was in pretty rough condition, I gotta be honest. But the thing about these dual screen ones is even though the outside can be all messed up, the inside, because it's a clamshell, is almost always impeccable and beautiful. And you can see I replaced the top and bottom reflector screens and polarizer screens, so everything works beautifully. So we just grab these big fat LR44 buttons. It's just how it is. Yeah. Is it? Yeah, Fire Attack's screen, it has a little bit too many sprites for what they were capable of back then. It's one of the more fun Game & Watches though. Really cool. Has like an extra lives mode. And crazy. So, Oil Panic. What's funny is that the side-by-side ones open backwards like a manga because they're Japanese. And you can see here, everything shows up beautifully. And if I actually grab its stand, you can actually display it open like that. Like so. And look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. This is way too loud. Hang on. There it is. Absolutely gorgeous. So. $6 on Etsy plus shipping for these stands. You can get them in black, clear, or frosted. They're engraved with the type of Game & Watch plus the Game & Watch symbol. Very interesting. Now we've done the side-by-sides. We've done the easy, simple stuff. Let's get into the crazy Game & Watches, shall we? We've already done Panorama in the last one. Is the DS. It's actually a lot smaller than the DS. I'll show you. Here's Greenhouse, another over-under dual screen. And here is a new Nintendo 3DS. You can see it's a lot smaller. A lot smaller. In fact, it's smaller than the DS Lite. And if you really want to get small, Mini Classics dual screen. Very small. As you can see. But fully functional. This isn't just for show. Okay, so we've done all the easy ones. But what if you just want to go ape shit? Why isn't this working? Get in there. What if you just want to go ape shit? Well, may I introduce you guys to the Crystal Screen. This is the most expensive Game & Watch I bought. It was not cheap, obviously. And it uses special batteries because it's so thin. Very thin, this one. And the thing about the Crystal Screens is that you can see right through them. And they play just the same. Smaller, I guess, because it's not that much to the system. Well, I guess. It's just the screens were smaller, really. But dang, these things are heavy, though. They have metal in them. That's what I like about the dual screens, is that they have metal in them. And they were the first game systems to have D-pads. There you go. And it actually feels really good. This D-pad feels amazing. But this one needs a special battery. So let me go grab that. here we go. Jeff! Yo, Jeff, I've been trying to stream on Pushblock Gaming's Twitch channel for like an hour now. And I eventually just gave up and went back to YouTube. I tried to use an old stream key from back in the day when you guys gave me permission on my personal one, but it didn't work. And then I tried to log on to our Twitch, and I logged on, but it needed that. Oh, what's up? What is up? Okay, so I tried to. Well, actually, I managed to log on to our Twitch, but it needed like credentials and stuff. I tried to use an old stream key to stream on the Twitch with my account. Didn't work. So you probably got a bunch of text messages.
It's set up with Authy.
Or Authies.
Doesn't actually send a text anymore.
Okay, well, you have a lot of those. But now I'm back on YouTube. But I want to go on Twitch.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, fuck. Ow, my body.
Alright. Okay, I'm sure the guys don't want to hear that.
Did they hear me?
Yeah.
Neat. Yeah.
Stop making old man noises.
I am an old man in a surprisingly young old man's body.
This is a very difficult battery cover to get open. You gotta, and then you sort of pull, and there you go. Oh.
Since you're already on YouTube for tonight.
What do you mean it's already on YouTube for tonight? I can switch to Twitch.
You're just gonna finish that stream out on YouTube tonight instead of Twitch like tomorrow or something.
Oh, so I can't get on Twitch then?
I mean, no, you can.
I would like to.
Alright. Yeah, let me run my computer. Oh, my God.
Okay, so got these small, thin, they're CR232s. The only Game & Watch system to use these, because they are thin and small. In fact, I think, let me just go to browser, properties, refresh, boom. There we go. And then, good stuff. All right. And then put them in like that. Oh. This is difficult. All right, and then you push down. God damn it. Push down and in. And that looks like it's a bit too thick, but it works. And there you go. It's kind of hard to see because it's clear. But there you go. And everything works. So you watch.
Switch to Twitch, like stuff YouTube stream. Do you want to log into Twitch or OBS? Or do you want to just stream and log in?
Stream key.
Just the link.
Yeah. What is this? It looks cool. These are Game & Watches, my guy. Specifically the Climber crystal screen. which is a better version of Ice Climber. Better than the NES version. Oh shit. Is Crystal Screen Mr. Game & Watch? I mean, these are all Game & Watch. Like, Crystal Screen is just a type of Game & Watch that has a clear screen. Alright, let me just put that. Make sure you wrap up your batteries, guys. Don't want them discharging on each other. That's the last thing. Yeah. Yeah, phrasing. But how would you get a Game & Watch today? eBay. That's really the only place I've been able to find them is eBay.
Also, Twitch redid the whole stream channel.
Which is crazy because I'm still like listed as one of those channels.
I actually don't see. Once you
Push block wood.
want to type out to me what your current Twitch username is, because there's literally nobody on the list anymore.
Weird because I show up as on yours. No, I tell him what it is. What? These guys are weird. Yeah. Sorry guys, we're just banging out some technical difficulties here, and we'll move over to Twitch here in just a second. Oh my god. See, this is Mr. Game & Watch. Look at him. Look at him juggling balls. Move this out of the way.
That's just a stopgap. I wanted to say, we'll also make sure that you can just log into the Twitch itself.
Bam! And it's in clock mode. Okay. So I'll end the stream here, guys. Go ahead and move on over to Pushblock Gaming's Twitch channel if you want to keep this up and see more of the collection / Smash. I'm probably going to be moving over to Smash after that and playing some Mr. Game & Watch on that beautiful game. So yes. Any questions? Gotcha. Thank